Look at this crowd. We've built an entire culture around the idea that if you're not rushing, you're falling behind. Every day becomes a sprint through a concrete corridor to beat a ticking clock, driven by the belief that moving faster automatically equals success. That's exactly how a young man named Nader lived his life. On a night of heavy storms, he forced his way into an isolated mountain watch shop looking for a quick fix. He threw a broken watch on the counter. His voice was frantic, demanding that the old watchmaker, Salim, repair it immediately. Nader's excuse was the universal modern mantra, "I have no time." Salim didn't flinch. He operated entirely outside the modern hustle, standing quietly in a shop where the anxiety of urgency seemed to simply evaporate. The old man looked at Nader and offered a diagnosis. He pointed out that the people who constantly claim time is escaping them are usually the ones using speed to escape from themselves. This illustrates the urgency trap. We start with two overlapping circles, your time and your actual self. Watch what happens as the velocity of your life increases. The sheer speed creates a wedge, pulling your daily actions completely away from your true identity. Our relentless pursuit of saving a few extra minutes becomes the exact mechanism that hollows out our authentic lives. At the center of Salim's shop hung a massive black wooden clock. Its hands were dead. They rested permanently at exactly 1 minute to midnight. Nader turned his back on the old man to inspect the room. Then the ancient frozen clock issued a single deafening tick. The lights in the shop failed. As Nader stared into the glass of the clock face, the reflection shifted. He was looking at a projection of his own potential future. He saw an older version of himself who had accumulated immense wealth and achieved every metric of societal success he was currently sprinting toward. The image also showed a man sitting in complete silence. He was entirely isolated, without a family, without close friends, and devoid of any emotional peace. Nader was perfectly on track to win the race he had entered, only to arrive at an entirely empty finish line. Salim's voice cut through the darkness. He explained the reflection in the glass. It showed a strict mathematical calculation based on Nader's current daily actions. This graph shows the trajectory principle. The upward path tracks material success, while personal fulfillment plunges downward. Red data points register every time he ignored family, brushed off friends, and buried his genuine aspirations. The resulting dotted trajectory points straight into empty negative space. In the shop, the clock's hands slowly inched closer to midnight. The window to change that trajectory was rapidly closing, and the emotional claustrophobia in the room became suffocating. Running faster without a conscious direction doesn't save you any time. It simply accelerates the rate at which you lose your soul. Right before the final strike of midnight, Salim offered an ultimatum. Nader had 1 moment left. Not enough time to rewrite his past mistakes, but exactly enough time to make a new choice. Nader reached out, his hand clamped down over the ornate metal, physically halting the creeping momentum of the clock. He pulled his hand back, looked down at his own broken watch on the counter, and turned to Salim. He asked the old man to leave the watch alone, and instead to fix him. Taking back control of your life requires a deliberate, often agonizing halt to the comfortable forward momentum of the hustle. Salim smiled. He noted that human beings rarely shatter in a single catastrophic event. The true breaking of a person happens gradually. It is the result of thousands of micro-compromises, every individual choice that contradicts their own nature. Nader walked out of the shop and back into the rain. Only this time, his pace was slow, his steps entirely deliberate. He stopped on the wet pavement. He dialed his mother's number. He sent a message to the friend he had neglected, and he opened up an old journal containing a dream he had long since abandoned. Back inside the mountain shop, the heavy black clock remained on the wall, its hands permanently frozen exactly 1 minute before midnight. The stopped clock served a specific purpose. It stood as a permanent monument to the exact moment a person finally wakes up. True success requires pacing yourself enough to cross the finish line with your authentic self fully intact.